Have you ever found yourself in a relationship that felt like a fairy tale at first, only to slowly transform into something you barely recognize? Just as we can get swept up in the illusion of positive thinking or a perfect manifestation, we can also be lulled into dangerous patterns in love, ones that erode our identity, values, and even financial stability. I'm Carmen Tosca, a certified financial coach. If you are a woman seeking financial freedom, find my resources in the video description. Sometimes it begins with what seems like a harmless compromise. You tell yourself you're just being agreeable, you're flexible, you're loving. But gradually, you start to shapeshift, becoming a version of yourself that fits their world more than your own. Initially, everything appears just perfect. You're smitten, hopeful, and perhaps a little blind to the red flags. But as that facade fades and emotional manipulation sneaks in, you begin to simmer like the proverbial frog in a pot of boiling water. You don't even realize you're being slowly cooked until it's too late. You feel off, disconnected from yourself. But still, you hold on to hope, to the past, to what could have been. Only by stepping outside the situation and viewing it from a higher perspective can you uncover the truth of what's unfolding. The gradual erosion of your sense of self and the creeping control are often intertwined with, or even reliant upon, financial dependence. This doesn't mean you shouldn't make compromises and sacrifices. Those are essential components of any relationship. But there's a crucial difference between being supportive and betraying your own values, needs, or dreams to make someone else comfortable. Too often, women are praised for being selfless, for putting others first, making things work, or staying silent to keep the peace. But when your silence costs you your freedom, your finances, and your sense of identity, it's not selflessness, it's self-betrayal. When love turns into control, what begins as romantic gestures can evolve into subtle control tactics. He manages the money because he's better at it. You pause your career just for a while to support his goals. Your independence is chipped away bit by bit, until one day you realize you no longer have access to bank accounts, decisions, or even your own voice. This happens gradually. The partner who once seemed caring may become increasingly critical, withholding, or even threatening. Finances become a leash, and you're the one holding the short end. By the time the warning signs are clear, many women feel trapped. They may not have the funds to leave, or they fear what will happen if they do. They wonder if it's their fault. They second-guess themselves. They lose touch with the powerful, capable version of who they used to be. That's not love. That's disempowerment. The link between self-worth and financial freedom. Money issues are rarely just about numbers. They're about beliefs, patterns, and conditioning. If you've been taught, consciously or not, that your worth comes from what you do for others, you'll likely feel guilty prioritizing your own goals, money, or boundaries. Additionally, if you've never been encouraged to understand finances, you may internalize the belief that it's not your domain. But this is important to know. Financial independence is not a luxury. It's a boundary. Being bad with money is usually the result of being excluded from financial empowerment, not a personal failing. Rebuilding your financial life begins with rebuilding your sense of worth. That's why I created my Money Mastery for Women program, to guide women through this journey from the inside out. It's not just about budgets and spreadsheets. It's about healing the part of you that was taught to stay small. How financial disempowerment happens. When you are financially dependent, your choices become limited. You remain in jobs you dislike. You stay in relationships that drain you. You suppress your voice. You abandon your dreams. And you rationalize it by telling yourself, it's just not the right time, or I'm being practical. but practicality should never come at the cost of your soul. What's more practical than ensuring you can survive, thrive, and make empowered choices? Whether you are married, single, or somewhere in between, financial autonomy matters. It provides you with choices, it provides you with safety, and it sends a powerful message to yourself and the world. I trust myself. I've got this. Reclaiming your power. Rebuilding after financial disempowerment, especially following a toxic relationship, isn't solely about earning more. It involves unlearning the lies you've been told, that you're not good with money, that you're too emotional to lead, that you're safer when someone else is in control. None of those statements is true. What is true is this: you should understand and be able to manage your money. You are capable of building wealth in your own way. You can reestablish trust with yourself and with money, and you can do so without abandoning your heart, your values, or your identity. Start with one step. Perhaps your first step is to open a separate savings account. Maybe it's tracking your expenses, or perhaps it's simply admitting to yourself that you want more, not out of greed, but out of self-respect. There's no shame in wanting to feel safe, to have a cushion, or to know you could walk away if you needed to. Financial freedom isn't about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about knowing you're not trapped. It's about creating options. You're allowed to want that, and you're allowed to build it. Final thoughts. Self-betrayal doesn't always present itself through dramatic decisions. It often manifests as a quiet, daily erosion of your truth. But just as it begins small, so does the healing. Small steps, clear intentions, honest self-reflection, and practical tools. You don't need to become someone else to reclaim your power. You simply need to return to yourself and take back the reins. If you are experiencing financial abuse or have previously faced it and want to break free from its devastating effects, I have written an ebook specifically to address this painful issue. Please find the link in the description, as I understand what it feels like and want to help you gain emotional freedom and financial independence. The longer you wait, the more difficult it becomes to leave. Start your new life of freedom today. If you're ready to take this even further and take control of your financial future, but don't know where to start, my Money Mastery for Women program will guide you every step of the way. The link is in the description, or visit prosperwoman.com. For additional financial coaching, you can watch my free mini-course, Money Mastery for Women playlist. Want to know 10 steps to simplify your finances and get to financial freedom? Grab my free guide, also linked in the video description, for instant access. And let me know in the comments if you've experienced losing yourself in a toxic relationship. See you in the next one.